You're on, sir.
Okay, and after a brief recess, we are now reconvening our meeting. Moving on to new business, the road department. We have a purchase recommendation for a trade-in and a purchase of 2 John Deere zero-turn mowers from Buchanan's Power Equipment.
Yeah, they've done this every 4 seasons, every 4 years since they've been buying mowers. It's been every 4 years. This year they got 6,000 trade-in. Last time they got 5,000. Before that they only got 4,000. I think it was because Buchanan's just been trying to get in for years and have never quite made it. And he's getting the biggest trade-in he's gotten yet, and it's something they've done every 4 years. So.
Man, that's an awfully good trade. You did 2 new mowers and only cost you that amount out of your pocket.
So the original cost of the new ones are 12-ish, something like that?
And that's state bid too, so. They're actually a lot more, but we get it really good.
Yeah, we get them for, about 10.5, 10.7, something like that. But they're 14.
Okay, is there, yeah, they are. I think that's what's on the paper. Is there a motion to approve the purchase and the trade-in of these 2 zero-turn mowers from Buchanan?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yes. And we have the annual county paving bid.
Yes, sir. We, actually, this section of Red Line 5 Points was on there last year, and Jack took it off, so he went ahead and estimated roughly $160,000 to cover that section, anticipating it cost about that much. And then we had discussed doing the small subdivision up here at Stony Point, and we didn't have our quotes back from the county. We didn't know how much it was going to be before we did the budget, so Jack had put in an additional $100,000, and he knew he'd probably have to move something around at some point. But we did get the quote back this week or last week, so it's about $30-some thousand shy. So this is just giving us a little bit more to cover it.
Okay.
This is really almost informational at this point. Basically, we're going to, once we get everything buttoned down, be able to move over. I wanted this on the agenda tonight. One of the things as I've jumped in here, paving is something that we obviously have a big responsibility for. There were some commitments made in these particular instances by the township. We just missed the number by about 30 grand. As with most years, it doesn't usually, petroleum's cheap right now, so it probably won't come in at 293, but we want to make sure we're covered. And I would call out to both of you to the fact that, and this isn't any, maybe it is a bash on Jack a little bit, because we've kind of drifted away from this, and we've got some roads that are in disrepair.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to be prepared for some big numbers here in the next few years.
What happened was the year before Jack got here, we did all of Patricia Allen Park. So we did a very small section of paving for the road. And that was the magic number that he wanted to continue to use, was the pretty much the smallest paving project we'd ever done, because we did everything at the park. And that was a number he kind of wanted to stay. I know he took Summerfield and a bunch of stuff off when he first got here. So we're really at this point playing catch up. I know we got sections of Pekin that need done, and there's a lot of sections that need done. So we're getting a little behind. I mean, you see in the monthly report, we're doing 400 or 500 potholes every time we go out. The roads are getting bad in some spots. So.
Yeah. It is time to catch up.
Well, and in the Stony Point situation, we can't very well do part of it, not all of it, that kind of thing.
But we don't actually need a motion for this at this point, because
We just need approval to tell the engineers to move forward with the project.
Right, I need to let the county know so they can get their bid packet together and everything.
We're not gonna lock
So we
in
basically
dollars.
would be committing for roughly, but that could go up or down based on if they get into an area, with bad base or something, but, typically price comes in under their quote, so.
Okay. Then what we'd like to do is entertain a motion to approve the resurfacing of the roads outlined in the cost estimate for the 2017 resurfacing project for those roads, but not locking in at this point the exact amount based on how the engineers' estimate will come in.
I think typically how we did that, and when you said that, it kind of jogged my memory. I think we do,
you do an estimated at $300,000 or whatever, rather than, something down to the 10-cent mark, I think you're right, Mr. Wade.
Yeah, I think so. So is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second?
Just to.
That's 300.
Okay, thank you.
Approximately
So I can put 300,000 in there?
Approximately.
Okay. Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah.
Thanks, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, and then we have.
I'm gonna jump in here. I'd like to point out this is, Scott's first monthly report that, the new initiative for 2017. Everybody else had one and we felt like he was left out, so.
It's just basic, that's all it was, is to throw some information out there. I can make it more complex as we go, but I'll take feedback and change it as we go. It'll be different every month. I don't wanna have a format and just plug stuff in. I'd rather have it change every month based on what's going on that particular month, because everything's ever changing up there.
Okay. Anything particular you want to point out on there?
No, not really. I mean, there's been 5 events. We've had 7 for the year, but 5 of those were in January, so it's been a good year. It's just some basic stuff that, it's just not, this has been an awkward winter for us, so we're finding things to do and,
Yeah.
taking care of some winter projects and things to that nature, so.
Gosh, I have to put out 26 hours of overtime in January. That's spectacular.
Yeah, well, and last year we had record snowfall, second most ever, but most of those happened during the standard work hours, so it doesn't really show the true hours we put in overtime because they were during the standard work day. So it's just, the numbers can lie, but 26 hours, that's total, that's the whole department, so.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about the monthly report for the road department? Okay, anything else for this time?
No, sir.
Okay. Planning and zoning department.
Yes, sir. For my monthly report, I can answer questions. We're just a couple of numbers above where we were last year. A couple different locations, but single family obviously is still strong.
Okay. Any questions for Jeff? Okay, fire district, we have a step increase recommendation for Jacob Group.
Correct, yes.
I did want to say well done, Jack. You did it tonight.
Yeah.
Very well
See
done.
where we're at.
Thank you.
Next go around. Thank you.
You'll probably do it.
I hope so.
How do you follow that?
It goes downhill from here. I know where I'm going.
We're hopeful.
This is a step increase for fire paramedic Jacob Group from $21.90 an hour effective pay period, or $2.21 effective pay period, February 25th. So a motion to grant this pay increase.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And then we have a request to file the state EMS grant application.
Same thing we do every year.
So what we do every year is a motion to direct the chief to file this grant application.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And we have the Blue Card Incident Command certification. We're going to send quite a few guys there for this, so that's good.
This is continuing on our professional development from a recent lieutenant's process to get them up to the incident commander level so they can, two of the got promoted, they're gonna go through it, and then the other 10 are the ones that participate in the process to get them up to like an acting officer role.
All right, is there a motion to approve this expenditure for $3,465?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have some kudos to the fire department from Gene Ingold.
You know, we get a lot of kudos, mail, stuff in the mail, phone calls, things like that, but this one was just kind of nice that the gentleman had passed, but she just wanted to send us a card to let us know that he had passed, and she appreciated everything we did for her. And a lot of times we just respond out to just help, if it just help lift somebody up off the floor or something that she can't do, and she just showed her appreciation for those little things that we did. Help out.
Very nice. And we also have the monthly report. Anybody have any questions for the chief about the monthly report? Busy as usual.
Yeah, very busy. Record-setting year last year, the pace of last month, looks like we're gonna do it again this year. Still early, so we don't know, but yeah.
And maybe it'll slow down.
It doesn't seem to be, it's really crazy. And like Scott said, we're kind of switched up our template here, so any feedback will be appreciated. We're still kind of modifying and moving things around with the new format, but Jennifer's working real hard on that. Yeah, she's doing a really good job.
The full moon this month, they seem to be extra crazy out there.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
Fact.
It's just,
Full moon and the eclipse.
it's worse than usual. Anybody have any questions about the monthly report for Steve? Okay, moving on to the police department, monthly report. Chief?
I'd point out a couple things. We had a couple overdoses that have the telltale signs of heroin or fentanyl right now. One of those individuals did die. The police department and the prosecutor's office were pushing, and the theme in Warren County now is to push that up a little bit further. If we can find who supplied that to make charges. We're waiting on some toxicology reports to come back, and we believe there's probably some manslaughter charges, comes out of that. So not something we want to see, but we believe it came out of Dayton, and we're going to pursue that a little bit hotter. Just kudos to the guys. The last one on the first page there, we just got a drug dealer sentenced to 9 years in prison off the traffic stop, I think it was, that occurred, and some good police work on that. So sometimes you don't get to see the back end of what some of those things came out of, and he's got 9 years in prison, so we'll see him for long. Other than that, that's all I have.
Any questions for the chief about his monthly report? Okay, administration, we have resolution 4997, a resolution appointing Jason Gabbard as interim township administrator.
You may have thought that we did this already.
Which we did.
Because we did. But our legal law director, it's getting a little late in the evening here, felt it better that we do it by resolution to cover any and all
Okay.
issues.
Good once, better twice.
That's what they say.
Okay, with resolution 4997, is there a motion to appoint Jason Gabbard as interim law administrator?
Township administrator, not the law administrator.
We're gonna
No.
switch.
Yeah.
It's late.
Pass.
I'll make that. I'll second that.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Abstain. Just to update you, after 1 week, I'm switching my hours. It's become pretty clear to me that I'm gonna need to be in here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, particularly the weeks before meetings, which is every other week, so it's just a part of the deal. I'll continue being on Tuesdays for staff meetings, unless we decide to move the staff meeting time and date each week, but at the same time, that may just be that, and then I don't come in on Thursdays. If we can, I'm working through the paper flow with Linda, with Savannah and Diane, and everybody else involved. But the Tuesday, Thursday concept was a pipe dream after about 2 days, so.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do have a question before we get any further. With resolution 4996, which was to approve or deny the zoning thing, is tabling that resolution what we actually did? Did we have that in the motion to table resolution
Yes.
49?
Yeah.
So we got that number in there?
Yes.
We don't need to.
So it's not out of order, right?
Just
Yeah.
so, I just
Correct.
didn't want it to be out of order.
No.
Correct.
Good. All right, that's cool. Okay, staff reports. Engineer's dinner, it's on the 9th.
It's on the 9th. I got the letter from, and you all, I'm sure, got one at your houses. I'll take a poll as to who's going and who's not, and I will report that back to the proper person.
I have it down, I'm going.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
I probably will, but I'll need to
Okay.
get back with you.
Yeah, I'll be going.
Well, makes 4.
We'll see if Mr. Wade shows up.
Okay.
I did last.
I know.
I was gonna say, I get it about every other year, so.
I think we were texting you, if I remember,
Yeah.
a couple years ago.
That's correct.
And I think a couple of
You
years
were-
ago, I just forgot.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, last year I was down seeing Courtney Coffee.
Yeah, a couple years ago, you were at a restaurant a lot nicer than the place we were eating,
I expect I was.
as I recall.
Okay.
So,
Could happen.
On to the Hoffman property, just to give you an update. We met with, I met with Tony and Mr. Whitaker on the property itself. We walked through the ins and outs of what he was looking for, what we were looking for, in that regard. He is not incorporated or in an LLC situation. He's a partner who is, and I said, well, whoever that is, and that needs to be the contract is with. So he's gonna go, he's circling back currently, getting his insurances in order and all those things before we enter into a contract. I hope to have that for the board at our next meeting. What has come of it is he definitely wants to use the barns. So what we're gonna do is label, there's four structures. We're gonna label them A, B, C, and D, and he will have control over 2 of those structures. Us with the other 2. So as that has moved forward, Brian and I have been in constant contact about the other side of what the quitclaim deed means and all those things. My intention is to do a walkthrough like you would if you were purchasing a property with Kathy and Jerry to finalize the fact that there's nothing else in the building, in the house that they want, that they are good and clear with all of that, and we'll execute a document that will clarify all of that, so we have covered ourselves liability-wise. As I said, in my experience, there's always a cousin or somebody who pops up down the road that's looking for a piece of china that they didn't get. So we want to make sure we're covered on both ends before we do that. And I had some experience with this side of it too. You want to speak to the deed itself?
Yes, so the deed's been signed, so at that point, it hasn't been filed, which the file was noticed to the subsequent purchaser, so that's what that triggers. But in terms of having been signed, we're already there, so Mr. Gabbard's suggestion is a good one, to do a walkthrough, and then I think also to take photographs. That way, whoever would come out at the end, say, hey, here it was, and you guys were done with it, so.
Well, and I think one of the things I'm going to suggest for at least a certain period of time is we utilize one of the other 2 buildings that we have to, even though we really can't secure it overly well, to secure the items that are in the house that are left. Just in case, you know, in good faith, to try to keep them in some sort of repair if someone wants them for 60, 90 days, whatever that might be. But at this point, I think that's the best course of action, and Brian assures me that we've covered ourselves on both ends if we do that, so.
Okay, sounds good.
Has anyone contacted Patrick Ettinger?
I did, yes, I absolutely did. The day after, right after our meeting, I contacted both of them. I let Patrick know that, and he just for clarification purposes, he said, I went low because I'm not sure what kind of hay is going to come out of those fields. So he must have known something about the field that they had killed off and started over again, perhaps, but one of those fields had been killed back and regrown, so, but both of them have been.
Last time I bought hay there, I ended up throwing it away.
Oh, you did?
I gave it to somebody for cow
We
hay.
better get a long-term contract. No, that's,
Recently?
3 years ago.
Okay.
yeah,
I think they've killed it since then.
one of them they've done since then, so, at least part of it.
Was it moldy?
No, it was really light bales, that was all stems. And for horses,
Yeah.
it just was no good.
Right.
So I called the Steiners and said, if you'll come get it out of my barn.
Yeah, I think the way Mr. Whitaker talked, that wasn't his target audience with that. Although I say that, he's planning on supplying the 11 ranks, but we talked about the logistics of the wagons in the barn and coming in and out. He's gonna be delivering all of it, so there's not, if we let him store his wagons there, he's gonna be the only one coming out. Which is, we talked about the gate, locking the gate, and he having a key and we have a key kind of thing, so.
Okay.
Okay. Vacation carryover. This was an interesting discussion at our staff meeting last week, and I just wanted to let you guys know because you were informed of something earlier on that turns out not to be the case. Our handbook does clarify that by trustee approval that you can carry over a week. Based on our union contracts, that's something that needs to be amended. Our union contracts call out for that approval to be done at the chief level. So therefore, we have to offer that to staff as well. And the way the handbook reads and the way it was being enforced is inconsistent with the way that both the contracts read. I vetted that with both chiefs. It became a question because Scott's group had been instructed that they can't take vacation for weeks at a time in the wintertime. Is that a fair assessment?
We can't put in for vacation for 4 months of the year. And what happens with that is, if it's a Wednesday, they can take Friday if we look at the weather and it's clear, but they can't turn in vacation 2 weeks ahead because we can't determine the weather. And we're not allowed to take vacation in the winter because we have to be available for snow removal and ice removal and such, because we have exact amount of people to run each route that we have. And then what happens is, we have to kind of wait a couple of days out. We can't get a hotel. We can't plan anything
any kind of
for
travel.
4 months of the year. And then if they do plan something and there's an event, then they can't take it, and then it gets pushed back. And then we have several people that have to use it in the winter months where they lose it, and then it gets pushed back, and then it's to the point where they could possibly lose days because it's been pushed back, and then they don't use it by a certain time, and then they actually lose vacation. So that carrying that week over was always a nice buffer for our guys, because we weren't forced to use our days that that they earned that on time. Days we don't want to use them, we're forced to use them at the end of the year, just because we're going to lose them if we don't use them. We can't really actually enjoy them as a true vacation. So it's.
And if their anniversary date falls in that 4-month window, it creates a problem. So we're going to, we'll visit the language of the handbook, but for the time being, we're going to move forward with policy of 1 week per the year, based on what we already had in place. So realistically, it was, we exposed ourselves to other things by not following that path. So that was just an update on that particular subject.
Let the administrator fill in.
The law administrator, he's right there.
I heard something else.
Scott,
in the motion.
if you want one of those new dump trucks replaced, here's your guy.
Oh, yeah.
Send him out.
Yeah, there's your guy, all right. I can write a letter about it.
You could, exactly.
That's about the only thing I can do with
Good.
it.
You can talk your way out of a few mailboxes, maybe.
I bet he could do
I
that.
could call it tow truck.
Anything else under staff updates?
Not for tonight.
And you don't need any action on the vacation, you're just.
No, we're just reverting back to
Work
the,
with what you've got.
yeah, we are working with what we have rather than making it up as we go along, if you will.
Okay. Okay, anybody have any questions or comments? We do have an executive session.
Real quick, first one for me. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Brian. Thanks to all the department heads. It was an eventful week. Obviously, you guys knew that I had a death in the family as well. Kudos to the police department for their help with that as well. So I've not been more nervous putting a document together because I knew the 3 sets of eyes that we're going to be looking at the most. So
We're not that bad.
absolutely not. You're absolutely right, Mr. Wade.
Not that bad.
So I think everything went well. Jeff was a tremendous help, up to and including this afternoon when I had to have some meetings, and he drug the old books out of and dusted them off, and I said, let's go this route for now and see how everybody likes it. I always liked this in the format that it was in. Never pushed back on Jack, but you know when something's missing if there's a gap. And we had some gaps over time where things weren't in our packet and they should have been. So anyway, that's all I got for that.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve resolution 4998 and recess this meeting and go to executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.